This weekend, Andy's killing zombies over car parts, Ryan is stuck in the rain, and we get jelly with it on the Super NES. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 208. So, I'm curious, have you claimed the title of Trivia Champions yet, or did that not happen?
No, we have tried the last 2 weeks. One of them was geography, which that was a bloodbath of that.
Yeah.
I thought I used to be good at geography, but I am severely not. I found out, at least not this.
20 years from high school will do that to a person. Just saying. I mean, if it was Gulf of America, you've got that nailed, right?
Well, okay. So this is what happened. This is there almost a riot started.
Okay.
Because one of the questions was what two oceans is Florida surrounded by?
Oh, okay.
And obviously Atlantic, and then everybody, and I was like, the Caribbean? I don't know what else. That's a sea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else it would be. So we put that. It's like when it was time to go in, and he's naming all the answers. He's like, and everybody got this one wrong. It was the Atlantic and the Gulf of America now.
Oh my God. That's not an ocean though. That's a gulf. Yeah. It's a geography thing, not an ocean thing.
Everybody revolted and said, that is not an ocean. And he's like, God. And he looked up something on some Google thing. It was like something called a basin ocean or something like that. And he's like, yeah, it's an ocean. I'm right.
No. A gulf is purely by land. It's dictated by the soil, not the water. It is wild. Huh. So clearly he contributed heavily to the 2024 campaign, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, there's definitely some of that going on in this trivia. But what do? You got to play by the guy's rules, I guess.
I guess next week you ask for the full Epstein files and see what he says.
Oh, that would be quite a discussion. I think that would probably be a half hour's worth of something going on there. But yeah, we'll keep going. The beer's good, so we keep paying for the beer. But
yeah, a couple drinks, entertainment, right?
Get a couple free ones. They give away some free drinks sometimes. Just from random questions, raise your hand. Question was, how many ghosts follow you around in Pac-Man? I shot up my hand immediately. I was far in the back. Nobody saw me. And then somebody else got it. And I'm like, I can name the ghosts' names, assholes.
Do it right now on the spot.
Blinky, Pinky, Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde.
Is it okay? I wasn't sure on the fourth one, but I'll go with. I'm sure you're correct.
I'm pretty sure Clyde is the fourth one.
Okay.
I might have gotten one of the other ones wrong. But
I can't answer because I own Hangly Man, and I'm not sure that's legit as far as ghost names go. So I could be skewed. Yeah, that's the bullshit part of like with them doing trivia like you guys are doing, where it's not electronic. Like if it's visual, like that's fucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done a lot since our last recording. Honestly, like this week snuck up on me because I was just like, God, what happened? Like I didn't really play any games. I couldn't even tell you what happened. Like 4th of July, paid way too much for fireworks. Turns out when you import your fireworks from China at 145% tariffs, kind of expensive. I mean, I know we don't pay for them as citizens, as our president has told us, but it seemed like it was a lot more. I'm sure that was not related to the tariffs, but
no, that's like that's just a fee to celebrate freedom, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Like you should pay more. It goes right to the Trump campaign. Yeah. He got the other $160 that I would have not spent otherwise. I had a fun time at So we headed to my parents' place, which is like right in Lakes Country in Minnesota. If you live in this area, you kind of know it's just like the area that everyone goes to on the weekends to be on a body of water, lake cabins everywhere, money, $1 million
Hmm.
cabins. My parents are not one of those $1 million cabin people. But anyway, we were there, and it turns out 4th of July storm comes through. Super isolated where it came through and just devastated my parents' place. And about 7 p.m. on the 4th, we're like, oh shit, it's coming. Like, and my parents have a ton of woods around where they're at because they live on a pond. It's great location, but trees everywhere, big pines. And my dad's like, you guys should move your cars so we don't have to worry about them, right? I was like, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So about the time that we like, not even about the time, like literally within 10 seconds of us deciding that, like, yeah, we should probably do that, all hell breaks loose. Like full skies open up, whatever. It's been a 95-degree day. And so I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to move the cars anyway because, like, it's clearly like this is all hell breaks loose. So I run out there in my 2003 glorious Trailblazer, just fantastic vehicle, cracked windshield, rust everywhere. I hop in that thing and I go to move it and I pull it up to my parents' driveway, like right in front of their garage, which on their property is pretty clear, right? So I don't have to really worry about the tree situation from where we had been parked. And then I had brought an umbrella with me to get into my vehicle so it got dry. And I quickly, because I have to race out and get my wife's vehicle and move that. Well, and the whole reason why we drove two vehicles is that my vehicle is a piece of shit, as I mentioned, and it doesn't have AC anymore. And I didn't want to hear my kids bitch for an hour and a half while we drove. So that's why we have two cars. But anyway, I go to quickly get out of my car. Fucking door handle broke. And you're like, okay, big deal, whatever, you ride it out. Like, no, you don't when it's been 100 degrees all day. Like, I'm basically cooking alive. And then I'm like fucking panicked. So like, I have to like pull my seat back all the way with the slider, hop over the divider thing, get into the passenger side, scramble out. By that time, the umbrella is worthless. So I get back in the house. I'm soaked, just completely soaked and just pissed and defeated. And then I get out there and move my wife's car and whatever. And then get all that done, and 10 minutes later, it just completely stops. And it was fine, whatever, it worked out. Like, my parents lost like one tree, but in their neighborhood, like, it was just like a gale force, like shifting wind. Like, I mean, not tornado, but like things definitely came in one direction and like backlashed quickly. So their entire pond that they live on, they have like 6 neighbors. And all you heard like that night and the next day was just chainsaws everywhere. The little old lady across the street, got a fucking tree right down the middle of her house. Like, went good 3 feet into her roof, like just halved the house. It was pretty crazy, and very lucky my parents' property didn't get more damage than it did. So exciting 4th, not the 4th you want. Fireworks nonetheless, but crazy.
It's been really crazy this year for that specific thing where it's like I've had uh some family where they like their child's playground just got like blown off like to the next state over almost.
Yeah.
And then like right down the road, the neighbor had nothing, like not even a tree branch or come
Yeah.
down. And yeah, Bemidji up there, that
Oh,
was
I
the
heard
same
that got
thing where it was
flattened.
just like it was just wind, just crazy.
Yeah. And people in other parts of the world are probably like, well, wind, whatever. What does that do? Well, turns out when 99% of your land is completely flat, when you get 100 mile per hour, like straight line winds, kind of fuck stuff up. So
Yeah.
it's been, yeah, like you said, it's been consistent. I would say every, 7 to 10 days, we've had a very questionable storm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been wild. But yeah, it was a crazy 4th. So
yeah, that was kind of a bummer because it was like nighttime storms like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We ended up watching Independence Day because there's nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pause it to explain to your kids that this man slapped another man because he's insecure about his wife and their relationship? Or does he leave that out?
Well, he you could see the beginning, the anger that he had toward that alien while he was beating the crap out of him.
Uh-huh.
you could see how that would manifest into other areas of his life. So, yeah, that that movie it's one of those that holds up tremendously well in some spots, and then other spots it's bottom of the basement of
Yeah.
movies. But
Yeah,
what
on the
else do you
whole though,
watch?
like I think it still does the thing, right? Like it's not the CG like draw that it was back then, but like the storyline's pretty good, right?
Yep, yep. If
the
not too
idea that
long, but
the idea that an event could happen like that and unite America is such a novel thing in 2025. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I mean, when you hear that speech that the president is giving about
Right.
Independence Day, I mean, back then you were like, "Oh yeah, revved up," and now it's almost like parody. It's almost like
Yeah.
this is satire. Like this is
And then the fact that like Cousin Eddie went like all crazy and like conspiracy theory like 20 years later, it's like, ah, this totally fits. He wasn't
yep.
even
That's
acting; it
him.
was just him living
It,
life.
it was just him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched one video about that movie where the Defense Department guy, the guy that's like not entirely accurate, right? That guy.
Yep.
He his character is named after a producer that the directors did not get along with in a previous movie. So they made him this character and basically shit on him the entire movie, just constantly being like, "No, dumbass, you're wrong." The entire movie,
Interesting.
just so they could name this character after a person they hated.
That's kind of shitty, but also
It's
great.
funny.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that like really shitty like sequel they did like what 10 years ago?
Yeah, I have not seen that yet. No,
Oh, that is something. I couldn't tell you much
is
about it because I barely remember it, but it was something.
yeah, like I don't remember anything about the marketing or anything. Like, was it a reboot
No.
where they had other people with it, or was it a sequel? I don't even remember.
Yeah. Nobody remembers.
Nope.
Well, speaking of bringing things into movies and like shitting on them, I'd put Tony Hawk on here because I really thought when I put this on here like a week ago that I would have downloaded, installed, and played Tony Hawk 3+4 remaster. Turns out that didn't happen. Um, I still want to, but I was reading a great story today about that game where it turns out there's like an Easter egg in, I forget which level, and there's basically like a big box version of like the Activision Guitar Hero box, but it's Banjo Champion, which some people noticed and like pointed out online, which it's funny, right? Like a nod to the past, Neversoft, because they're not involved. And what I don't understand is like the studio's like, oh, we have no idea how that got in there. We're gonna patch that out. I'm like,
Well, it's
but
in the
why
garbage, right?
though? Yeah, it
I
was
think
like it was laying on the ground.
yeah. So it's like is it like a saying that, oh, Guitar Hero, they're getting back at them because it killed Tony Hawk?
I don't know, but either way, like it's such an inconsequential thing and like
Yeah.
pretty funny, like in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know.
I did
It's
end
not
up
Neversoft's
playing it.
fault that they got absorbed as, Call of Duty
Right.
content creators, right? Like so.
Yep. Yeah. We played that for a little bit this last weekend.
Did you?
And man, I don't know if I lost it or if the game is different or what. Those 6 scores are pretty difficult to
Yeah.
obtain at this point for me.
That's how I felt with 1 and 2, and like I was so amped on that game, and then I played it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is definitely a me thing." Like, and then I just fell off
Oh
of
yeah.
it. So, plus, like you read the reviews for this one, it's all like most people are like 8 out of 10, right? But it's like, well, there's less than 20% of the original soundtrack, which is most of the reason why you buy these games, and then people coming to the realization that they completely gutted what 4 was, and it's not an open world game and it's timed, which personally I
Yeah.
don't mind. I thought that was the change for me that made me not like that game. I know that I'm in the minority on that, but I was very much about 1, 2, and 3 with the timed like 2-minute limit, and so I don't know that I would care because I don't have a lot of nostalgia for 4, but yeah,
I did like that more, kind of the exploring and going up to talking to people, getting quests and stuff like that.
sure,
But playing now with the kids, the 2-minute timer is a really nice to just even, my youngest who's not doesn't even know what he's doing. He's just jumping around, for the most part.
yeah,
Who still ends up getting wall plants after wall plants and scoring more points than the other kids, which is pretty funny. um the just being able to be like, oh, you get 2 minutes on it
yeah.
on the next
Pass the
person, right?
controller,
it's
yeah,
it's pretty nice for that.
yeah. I could see that. I I almost bought the like $130 edition with a skateboard, and then I was like, wait, this is on Game Pass. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I backed off.
Yep.
I will
We're
install
about
it, but
halfway through 3, but
okay. Yeah, 3 was the last one that I completed. And then that was kind of like, my trajectory of halfway through college. Just didn't keep up with it. So,
it does feel good though to, where my son is. He's basically ahead of me in Fortnite or any other shooter at this point.
sure.
And going back to Tony Hawk and just decimating them to be, like, you're not even on the same level, kid.
You need that kind of thing once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah. I fully intend on installing it. It will be this week for sure, but I can't believe I didn't get to it before because I had every intention of like Friday at lunch, just like starting the download, and then I never got to it. So
Mm-hmm.
I heard sale numbers are good. Like top 10 over in Europe. I know it popped into the charts at like number 5. I don't know about the US, but
You think they'll do Thug 1 and 2 then?
God, can you do those in a combo though, or do you have to do them
I don't know.
individually?
Yeah.
The weird thing is,
I mean,
like,
you wouldn't do the 2-minute thing with those two, I
no,
don't think,
you
because those are
couldn't.
just so much. Yeah.
It would destroy it. I think you'd have to do them like as. I would think you just do them separately, but maybe I'm crazy. The positive though is like the skateboarding world is like in such a recession right now that like pros are not getting paid. Like company after company is closing. They got all bought up, and then like big companies shut them down. So it's like I want to see these games come out and do well because it's probably about the only way that some of these guys are getting like real money. And maybe it'll do the thing that it did for me and like a million other kids is like get them to buy a skateboard and go do it. So,
Yep.
Can only hope.
Yeah, that's true. I is amazing going in there and be like, I don't know who most of these people are anymore. Like when Nigel Houston is like the youngest person I know in that, and he's like the old guy on this game now.
Yeah, Andy Anderson was a good conclusion. He's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like the weird, like 10 throwback guys who are all in their 60s, and then there's like these new ones, and the fact that they didn't get like Jamie Foy in there like kind of pisses me off because he's like, I don't know, like he's the ultimate choice for that, but from the new gen anyway.
Yep.
Well, we got weird new animation Michelangelo, so that's good, right?
I'll take it. It's a turtle.
It's a turtle. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm sure I'll be in the same boat as you though, where it's just like, yeah, this is fun, but I'm not getting that high score or pro score challenge. So I heard they did a weird thing this one too, where like you have to beat the entire 3rd and 4th games before the pro challenges unlock. And then it's just
really?
basically like higher score stuff, which is
okay.
limiting, but yeah, who knows? Well,
Yeah.
I watched a couple of movies. Well, 3.
Yeah.
I have 3 movies on here technically. One's a documentary. But I want to talk about the first one because this is the one you kind of like mentioned to me as a, I don't know if it was a staff pick or something you're interested in, but like that Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd friendship. Have you watched it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I can't believe I haven't because yeah, Tim Robinson is
Yeah.
amazing. But
It's very dark. Like it kind of goes from like haha funny to like I feel sad. And then like
yeah,
as someone who like I would say like I've gone through most of my life feeling like Tim Robinson's character, it just made me feel really shitty because I related to him very hard. So it
yeah,
stopped being funny at a very early point in that movie. But yeah, acting's really good. This is one of those movies though where it's like nobody's gonna be like, yeah, that was an okay movie. You're gonna come out of this going like, oh my god, I laughed so hard I died, and or you're gonna come out being like, that fucking sucked. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And I'm kind of like more towards the fucking sucked, but it didn't. Like, it was just going for a thing, which was not the vibe I was going into to watch that. But pretty entertaining nonetheless. It is wild. It's very much a very very dark comedy. You know, it's like
yeah.
his wife's coming off of having cancer. She's like now cancer free. You can clearly tell his family wants nothing to do with him. And then like he has this new like friend group that eventually wants something to do with him pretty quickly, and it's wild.
Yeah, that's even in the skits that he does in his shows, it's basically like he sets a tone for awkwardness
Yeah.
and he does not let off the gas pedal on that awkwardness until it's like, okay, this is getting a little bit dark. And it's like this
Yeah.
is too much, right?
Which works in
So
like
doing
20
that in a whole
minutes.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
140 minutes, little bit less. I think like my favorite scene is like there's like a break-in scene where like cops show up at his door and like Paul Rudd's character's like, "Hey, someone broke into my home. Oh no, what happened?" And they're like, "Well, we let the canines in. They follow you right to the door. Oh, somebody broke into my home too." And like Paul Rudd's like ready to like kick his ass. He just like plays it so deadpan. It's pretty wild. Like it's like almost it's almost a movie of like the making of a serial killer. Like it gets to that point by the end. It doesn't like
Yeah.
fully go, but yeah, it was hard to watch. Everyone should watch it once, but crazy movie.
The surprising part is I heard after the fact that he didn't write it. So like he didn't
Oh,
write
really?
or direct it.
Oh, it seems like his
Which
thing
I would
for
have
sure.
thought that, yeah, I would have thought that he would have been. I mean, he could probably do whatever he wanted at this point for
Yeah.
how big he is now. But yeah, I don't know. Like some of my favorite shows just do. I mean, that type of stuff just doesn't work for long periods. Aqua Teen is one of my favorite shows. Does not work in a movie format.
No.
Tim and Eric that movie is probably one of the worst movies.
I mean, they tried to make the worst movie ever and they succeeded. So
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about the whole movie was just that Paul Rudd's character was a like news anchor weatherman, and he like basically has the same haircut from Anchorman. I was like, well, that's just nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So if he'd pulled out Sex Panther at some point, it would have been perfect. But yeah. Yeah, the other one we watched was the Thunderbolts movie, which I've said before, I'm not a Marvel person. Like I knew, of a few of those characters through the was it the Black Widow movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of like that better than like must have watched 45 movies to have a loose understanding of what's happening, because just kind of got to the point, right? Like group of people unite under weird circumstances, fight thing, and that's all I want. Like I don't want to have to like have yeah, it's like a bottle episode within the Marvel universe, you know what I mean? Like that's all I need. So yeah, I can't say it was like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but like I probably enjoyed it more than like the Endgame, Avengers saga, because just got it over with and like was entertaining. I understood for the most part what was happening, and yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one because I am the Marvel guy. I watch all that stuff, and they have been on a run of just some of the like it's garbage.
Yeah.
It's terrible stuff. The Captain America one with the Red Hulk, that was just not good.
I missed that. They reference that in this movie and can like make fun of it. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Daredevil, this is
awful. Yeah.
I would say this is like grounded for what the MCU is. Like it's a good action movie. Like that's all you want. Like, you know.
Yep.
There's no big names or stars or it's just good. And there's like some heart to it, which I feel like most of that Marvel stuff is just about like how much CG bullshit can we throw on screen to like end this thing out. And
yeah. Well, now that movie did well, you know, all those characters are going to be bled dry in every other movie that they do now too. So
yeah, I can't wait to see alternative dickhead Captain America the movie because is that part of the canon? Like at some point they just like recruit somebody who's a giant dickbag to be Captain America and then fire him. Okay. Yep.
That was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, I think.
Okay.
He was in that one, yeah.
That explains why he knew the Winter Soldier. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I just attribute it to him being a ginger. You know what I mean? They're feisty. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's a good watch. So viewing order for the audience: Thunderbolts followed by Friendship. So it was a very high adrenaline to like I hate my life. What's going on? I'm going to go to bed sad now. Like it's kind of like how we ended the night.
Oh, that was back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were leading into the third one, which would be funnier if you watched that after.
I could get into that. But yeah, it was Thunderbolts from like, I don't know, 6 to like 7. And then Friendship right up to about like 9 o'clock. Where we're just like, I feel sad about life. You know what I mean? It's like, but we could talk about my third. Anymore. Yeah, exactly. And not being here anymore, we could talk about the third one I watched, which I fully meant to talk about last time and then forgot until the end. But I watched that Pee Wee Herman documentary, 2-part, with Paul Rubens being like kind of interviewed as himself. Unbeknownst to the filmmaker or documentarian, like he knew he had cancer the couple years leading up to his death. They had no idea. And it's a very cool retrospective on his life and like a lot of the behind the scenes before they talk about, you know, where he invented the Pee Wee character. There's a lot of like acting schools and like he was in the same classes as like God, why am I blanking on this? Who's the big Baywatch guy?
Hasselhoff?
Yeah, Hasselhoff, a couple other people. And then like he was basically just like a character actor and then had done like some Gong Show stuff and then his whole life of being, which I didn't know he was gay. Like maybe as like a Pee Wee fan, like maybe I should have known that, but like I didn't realize he was. And there was the whole thing of his life where he left acting and like settled down with a partner and just kind of like left it all behind and then realized like he needed his moment and couldn't, you know, his dad basically told him like, you know, you can play house or you can follow your dreams, you know? And that's when he just like fully was like, I'm going to pass this straight. This Pee Wee character is going to be my thing. And then tunnel vision, which is part of, you know, if you're aware of how Pee Wee came about and the success, like there is that like dark side of the Pee Wee lore where he really did like build himself up with like a lot of other great people like Phil Hartman, a bunch of other people, and then kind of cast them aside once he got big. So it's nice to see the documentary kind of like touch on that too. And then, yeah, like, you know, they acknowledge like a lot of the subliminal messaging, which you picked up on. Like I realized years later, like the episode where Pee Wee decides like the fruit salad's so good that he's going to marry it. Like I get the joke now. And then there's like the Christmas special where he's got the whole room made out of like fruit cake. And then he opens the door to this like expansion to his house. And it's just like 2 shirtless, ripped construction workers, like mortar and tiling like fruitcakes in. It's just all these adult themes, which are part of what made that show great and twisted and like, you know, again, we've talked about in this show like how without Adult Swim and some of that content, our generation's sense of humor would be wildly different. Well, really, like the foundations of what made those things possible 10 years later was Pee Wee's Playhouse. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So very cool documentary to see. It was sad because they didn't do like I'm not going to spoil anything with the content, but like they never did the final like closing interviews. They said they did like 40 hours of interviews with him, and then like he just kind of didn't want to discuss or wrap up like some of the like sexual allegations, like in child pornography things that came up later in his career, which they explained to some extent, but like obviously I think he was just protective of his legacy. But he, like the day before he died, like there's a clip that he sent into the producer and was like, just like laying it all on the table, like a 2-minute clip of like, and he just sounds awful. Like he sounds like a guy who's barely hanging on and like kind of closes it out a little bit, but it's very cool. But then it's just like this part 4 that just like never can fully wrap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, wild to have that, to be doing a documentary like that. Well, yeah, that's happening. They have no idea. That's
Yeah.
Huh.
And he's just like such a sassy, like combative, like character. Like he's almost like playing a character with the cameraman like the whole time too. And like the way they cut it together is pretty clever. And they did get into like some of the darker behind the scenes stuff too, which is cool to see. Cause I don't think most people making a documentary like that would probably ask those questions for fear of like losing the project. So it was nice to see them kind of go for it.
right.
But
Yeah. And I was like right on the other side of that, where I was still kind of a kid when all of that happened.
yeah.
And it was like all the turn of a switch where it was like, you're not allowed to watch Pee Wee Herman anymore, like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I was a little later too. Cause like, I think they said it started in like, was it 86 or 85 and then like ended in like 91. So like, obviously I don't remember like the first half. It was on syndication, obviously all over the place.
yeah, that's kind of when I was,
But then, yeah, like once the big, theater scandal came out, like he was off the air, no replays. Like I feel like it wasn't until Adult Swim picked it up when we were in our 20s that it was brought back to TV. So,
yeah.
But it's just like such a cool show. Like just the
And
whole
the movies
dynamic.
are just like excellent.
Yeah.
For actual movies, they're excellent movies too.
Yeah. Yeah. Middle one, not so great. First one and the last one.
Yeah.
With Joe Manganiello, the thing is, like, I wish we could have gotten one more. But even the middle one, like, as much as I don't appreciate it, it's still a much better movie than most kids' movies. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that the different colored cows produce chocolate and vanilla milk is great. And the idea that Pee Wee Herman could have like 2 love interests in the same movie, you know what I mean? But, yeah, that's kind of my cinematic experience over the last couple of weeks. You may as well get into some of your topics since I just rambled on for 20 minutes.
Well, I've been playing games.
What?
Yeah, I am still playing Metaphor.
Okay.
Atlas game, which is I'm probably 30 hours in, something like that. So 10% done. I don't know. Who knows? But another one I got on the Steam sale, which looked interesting. It's called Drive Beyond Horizons. It's an early access game.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure. You can't put this in a genre, I don't think.
So it's not in the Horizon series.
No, it's a procedurally generated driving game where you just keep driving down this road. And as you drive down the road, there's gas stations and little landmarks that you can stop at. And I think what the goal of the game is to complete your car. You just like, you have a car that's like got no doors or anything on it. It's just a rust bucket. So you're every landmark you're like finding little um, parts of your car. So like you find a mirror or a fender or something like that, and then you go attach it to your car, and then some of the garages have things that you can paint and clean it off, make it look nice. It's got a little bit of that power wash simulator stuff in it where you're
Nice.
cleaning up the car, and I think that's kind of the goal is to get a complete car, scavenge for every single part that's original for your car. But it's interesting because you kind of have to scavenge and do mismatch parts. You're putting like truck doors on of like a little Volkswagen Golf or something like that. Just every wheel is a different size just to go, you know?
Sure.
And you have meters, so you have gas and you have water and you have to eat and you have to do all this stuff too just to survive. There's zombies sometimes, which and then there's guns. It's it's a really weird game. It seems like they're just like making it up as they go along more than anything else, but it captured my attention for a little while and then I think I dropped off pretty hard because it's just randomized on whether or not you're going to find the parts that you need, right? So, and then found out you can tow cars. So if you find another
Oh,
car body and you're like, oh, I want to start building this car, because I think there's like 20, 30 cars in the game that you can build up. But the towing did not go well. I don't think the physics really worked too great on that side yet. But
is it roguelike or is it continuous progression?
there's a mode that you go forever. That was the one I was doing. I think there's one with scenarios, which I'm not sure what that entails.
Okay.
If you have to pick a car and get that car complete or what. But
Interesting. I hadn't
it's
heard
an
of it at all.
interesting, yeah, it's an interesting kind of game, I guess, how they came up with that idea, mixing all those type of things together. It if you're into the like the power wash simulator stuff and like the anything with cars and building that stuff, I think it'd be up
Sure.
your alley for a little bit. I think it wears out its welcome pretty fast because I don't know if it's just because it's too early of an access where you're like, okay, I've seen what this game is, but
Hmm. And it's not like Pacific Drive where there's like some weird like sci-fi horror thing behind it, or not
no.
that
And I
deep.
think that's kind of like what Pacific Drive is too, right? I've not
Yeah.
played that game, but I've kind of heard it's kind of that type of thing. I think there's another one out there that's similar to this, so it's not like a completely original idea, I don't think, but
Okay.
this one
Hmm.
is. It seems like it's very much like I mean, you're finding turn signals that are original for your car and so like it's trying and they're pretty accurate to like this is a Firebird. Like this is it's not named a Firebird, but it's the Bandit's Firebird pretty much.
It's an Irebird, right?
Yeah.
As close as we can get it, but legally distinct. That's funny. Yeah. How was your time at the fourth? I guess I kind of like glossed over it. You guys go to the lake, let us fireworks.
We kind of did. I mean, yeah, until we do it our family thing. It was hot and all that, but this last weekend we uh we are owners of a lake lot now.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent all of Saturday down there. The kids swam in the lake for about 5 hours. It was crazy.
Nice.
And I cleaned up a bunch of brush. So
You guys got like a dock out and stuff.
yeah, put the dock out, did
Nice.
all that.
So now you're like planning
Yeah.
out like where you're gonna frame out your cabin and
Camper first, probably, but
yeah. I found
yeah.
a sweet $9,000 pontoon houseboat over in
Hmm,
Ponsford, Minnesota, on Facebook if you're interested. Has a
there we go.
cot. Um,
That's that's two birds with one stone that we need, right?
100%. You can fish, you can sleep. I guess if you hang off the end, you can shit. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's nice when you get like a spot that's like dedicated. So you just like that was part of the downfall of the holiday weekend was like my parents have the proximity, but it's like on a weekend like that, like you drive to like we drove to 4 lakes before we found one that was like
Hmm.
calm enough to even like jump in and swim at. So the fact that
Or
you got
even,
like your
yeah,
own lot,
even be able to get in the access if you want to.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. So you both mostly just have it like mowed off and like drive in for now, and then
Yep.
waiting for a camper deal, and then just hauling her down there for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a plan for this year anyway. But
Yeah, that's pretty cheap to get like a decent camper, like on Facebook Marketplace anyway. Or are you gonna like go all out with your employer and buy like a camping fishing
camping
super
fishing
deluxe
outfit.
combo?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're not worth it, I would say. But yeah, the camper, we got to clean out some trees first. My mother went a little overboard with the trees when they first bought this bare plot of land
Sure.
in like the 70s. There there's basically hardly any way to even maneuver anything, even like a car around in that lot. There's so many trees that's ridiculous. So
Sure.
some of those have to go down, but
I mean that's the problem you want to have though, right? Like be able to clear what you need versus
yep.
having a plant. So yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is like to get power out there, like, oh, solar is kind of getting to that point where you could do something like that, except you need the sun and there's no truth.
Right.
There's no sun there.
Well, at least you can get like a quiet run Honda generator for like $900, and then I'll do
Yeah.
like that should do a camper.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We called the local power company and getting a connection is not too bad. But the monthly fee just to have it connected, it was like $50, which is like crazy.
Yeah, because you're not going to use it 6 months out of the year.
No, no.
Yeah, that's way more than I would expected. It's free money for them, right? Like when you're out there in the summer, you're running like AC, all the toys. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess if you compare it to like an HOA, though, you'd pay like what,
Oh,
150,
yeah.
$200 for an HOA. So
But yeah,
that's still, yeah, like you said, like vacant lot, electricity, $50 just to have it on the prem is nuts.
yeah. I know, in the county I live at now, like it's pretty common to just be like seasonal stuff where you just shut it off for the summer, but not an option, I guess.
Huh. And do you guys have? There's no well there yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
There was apparently there was a community well at some point, and there's an easement somewhere, but I don't think that's still running.
I mean, at this point, like if you don't want drinking water, like power a camper, like you just float a floaty out in the lake and like wash your dishes, power your shower, power your toilet, bring bottles of water. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's a very solutionable thing.
Yeah.
The occasional minnow in the line, I suppose.
Yep. But that's some of my weekends are going to be out there now this summer. So,
cool.
Yep.
I'm jealous. I keep looking. We haven't done anything, but I can never decide like buy the lake place or buy a different house or do nothing or I don't know. It's like such an uncertain time to do like anything, but I don't know. We'll
you
see.
could move your house to the lake.
I could. At the bare minimum, I'll wait till my kids graduate high school and then I'll buy a house in the lake. But for now, we'll see. We did find a listing in town that's, I don't know if you're like familiar with like the Bluemont area, like off 25th. Like there's 3 or 4 man-made lakes in there, and there's a gorgeous house. It's like big open glass patio to the back, lake. You have your own dock, but you're in an HOA, so like, all right, what am I gonna have to deal with? And then it's $200 a month almost to pay for the HOA, plus the house is $380,000. It's like, all right, like I don't know. We'll see. It's just
Yeah,
hard to pass up on like our current house that is like clearly very small for us, but also 2% interest rate, and I owe less than like 90,000 on it. So
right.
I don't know. And I'm bad with big decisions, so that doesn't help either. By the time I'm like, well, maybe, then everything's already sold. So
Maybe not in this market.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, that stuff kind of turned on a dime. But
Yeah, it really has like just kind of like throttled down big time.
I think I sold my house, and then
Oh,
everybody
perfect
said,
time.
"Okay, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Let's
really
wrap it up."
like it's really gotten different, that's for sure. Um well, staff picks, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm curious on yours. I think I know what it is, but I want to wait. I want to know for sure.
Well,
So,
it's so I this is a couple Sundays ago.
okay, it is. Yeah.
Um, yes, I decided to spend 9 hours of my life watching
Oh, you watched it
concerts.
live.
I didn't watch it live. I watched
Okay.
a stream.
Okay.
So I skipped a lot of the in between parts, but I did watch all of the music. This is Black Sabbath's kind of farewell tour, more Ozzy, I guess.
Yeah, his
Um,
last show with the band, right?
yeah, and it was crazy. That they started at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, and played till 10. It was crazy,
Yeah.
and you see like obviously the old guys, which are like very old at this point. Um, and then you see guys that were like bands that we were into, and now those guys are really old.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a eye opener on like how old we are too.
Yeah.
Did you
The-
see any clips of this or anything?
I saw a few. Like I saw the Ozzy, like kind of choking up. The one that blew me away was like that they had young blood, because like young blood is like very minimally broken through, mostly in like a scene aspect in the US. Like the fact, and
Yeah.
like I don't know how big he is overseas, but like the fact that they like had him on there, I was like, really, like they really let
Yeah.
him have this stage, because like
Yeah.
holy shit. And not that he's talented, I like him, but like I was like,
But 5 years
wow.
from now, you could be like, who? You know?
Right, right. So yeah, I saw a few clips. It was, I mean, it was what I expected. But yeah, like you said, like some of the choices and people they had on were like not bands I would expect. The hard part for me is like, as much as I understand the significance of like Sabbath and like Ozzy's stuff, like I've never really liked most of it, so I kind of
Okay.
wasn't that interested. But it's hard to deny that it was a pretty monumental event. Like Ozzy just looks
Yep.
so frail at this point too, and
Yeah.
like the amount of songs they played. My God.
Yeah. And I mean, he can still sing, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, he can't walk, he can't do anything like that, but man, he wanted to. Like, you could just still tell, like, the energy of the stage energy he had. He
Yeah.
just, like, almost wanted to jump out of the chair and start jumping around. But yeah, he can still sing. Axl Rose is, no, he's done. I can't believe that they
Didn't
still
see his.
go around doing that. He is, my son was in the room and I mean, he just turned 6 and he was listening to Axl Rose and said, "That guy sounds like Mickey Mouse." And for the rest of the set, it was just exactly like that's all I could hear was Mickey Mouse singing. And yeah, it's you know, and he's younger compared to Guns N'
Yeah,
Roses. Kind of was they weren't that good compared to. I mean, Steven Tyler comes out and he's still singing pretty
that's mind
good.
blowing. Yeah.
And after what he's kind of been through lately too,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. Um, the I think the coolest part was they had a three drummers come out do a drum off. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
They had Travis Barker, uh, Danny Carey from Tool, and Chad Smith all come out and kind of do a drum off, which is like pretty cool to have the three drummers of the 90s basically
Sure.
out there doing that. So getting all those people together is kind of amazing how you can coordinate that. Apparently it was all Tom Morello that did all that, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
Sharon doesn't have the hookups anymore, or what?
Well, she organized the event, I guess, but getting the people all in there was that. The two surprising ones for me, I'll say the third one was kind of funny because I was thinking about going to them because they were in Fargo. Was a Living Color.
Oh,
Was in Fargo not so bad so long ago, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to see them because Vernon Reid is a very underrated guitar player. For most people don't know personality. That's the one thing, right?
yep.
But he's really good, and he showed up on stage, was playing too, and that was pretty cool. But uh, Hailstorm, like I always kind of was just kind of like, whatever. I
Yeah.
never gave them props, but she's a hell of a singer.
I mean, I'm going to continue to not give him props, but
Yeah,
I've heard that from many people, not just you. So
yeah,
it's so manufactured. You know what I mean?
it is. I mean, their songs are not good, but when she was singing other stuff and like really, it. I mean, for a concert, she
Yeah.
was probably the best singer there. Like crazy.
Yeah. Well, and that was the cool thing about like the parts I did see was like so many covers from like legendary bands. Like that's neat to see.
Right. Yeah. Uh, Some of them are, yeah, you wonder
Question.
why they're still doing it,
Yeah.
but they're still going. I mean, you watch Tool and they're like all on four quadrants of the stage, do not move, don't do anything. And it's like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's their thing or if they're just phoning it in at this point, but
Yeah. I've heard that like Tool most of the time, like Maynard isn't even on stage. He just like hides behind the drum kit and
huh,
I don't get it. That is what's missing from like rock these days is like the stage show. Like when you find a band that'll
oh
do
yeah.
it, it's great. But yeah, I get like all of these arena acts and I don't know. Yeah, it was cool to see though. Like what a lineup, what a send off. Like honestly, like part of me always thought like this was never going to happen because it just seemed like Ozzy was on like such a touch and go basis for a while that like I mean he didn't
Yeah.
even accept his awards the last couple of years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's, they raised like $200 million or something too,
Really,
which is crazy.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But if you got 9 hours to spare, I guess.
I'm sure there's going to be like a 4K Blu-ray collection coming out
Yeah.
for God knows how much with behind the scenes and never before seen interviews. So.
Well, and the other thing about that is obviously they're probably recording all cameras at once so they can go back and re-edit the way there was a lot during the live show where it was just like, why are we on this shot right now?
Sure.
Um, a ripping guitar solo, covering a Randy Rhoads guitar solo, and then we're watching the bass player just pluck along. Like what,
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming very soon.
yeah.
So my staff pick, I don't know if we've ever talked about it. I'm sure you've seen videos. Patman QC on YouTube. He does like really good video game like history videos. He'll do them a lot on arcade games. I think his last one was Super Mario Brothers 3. Does it with like this kind of like older guy narrator like voice and lens to stuff, but it's all like very in depth, very entertaining. I've been watching his videos for a couple 3 years maybe. I don't know. He kind of like came on my radar and then because I caught a couple of videos through my feed, and just like maybe like 1,000 or so subs, and like he just exploded over the last couple of years. And then like as you watch his content, you come to find out that like he's this active, arcade enthusiast, and then because of some health complications in like his 40s, he has like no legs and no arms, but he like can still play classic arcade games because like directional stick and minimal buttons, which is kind of like, wow, that's crazy. Plus he's doing these videos, so I'd imagine not easy to edit, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting help. I don't know enough about him, but really good, wholesome channel, very thorough. And he actually was at MGC. I don't think this last year we went. I think he was there 2 years ago. I kind of like saw him passing in the crowd.
Mm.
Didn't say anything. I don't even know if he was like on a panel or anything. But it came to light that like somebody posted, one of his buddies, that like in this last week he just, I don't know what happened, passed away. Like a couple kids, wife. Like I know he had like a heart condition, I think, not too long ago. But yeah, like super sad. And like he's got such a great channel, and he was so consistent. Like I would say, he was doing, I'm not saying he's like gaming historian levels, but like close enough, and like didn't make excuses, right? Like he was getting them out like every like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like consistently. And they're all very good. Highly recommend everyone go check out his content. He's got a couple hundred videos, Patman QC. It's just good, informative retro gaming stuff. It's too bad that he's not around anymore. So
I don't know if I'm aware of this. I don't think I've ever. Maybe I have, but you aren't aware. But
yeah, I mean the algorithm throws so much at you. But
right, huh? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out because tell you what, there's a big gap of that type of long form. I'm guessing they're kind of long form, right?
Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes, like deep dive. Very, very good. Yeah. Yeah. And like especially once like the gaming historian left, but just, yeah, it always blew me away, like how thorough he was and how consistent he was. I think that's probably why his channel took off too. And just like his genuine, like positive nature, and just like, after watching his stuff, like you would never have guessed that he was like dealing with any of the shit he was. So like, pretty cool to see a guy like that. Just like, how many people would just give up, and like, he's like, I'm going to keep doing shit, so. It's
right.
Cool.
Yeah. And not necessarily use that to have the views, right?
Right. Yeah. I'd watched him for a long time before he like mentioned it in a video. And I was like, oh, that's wild. So, but then you see him at like MGC and stuff too, and he's just like getting around, like just totally cool. Watched him play a couple games even in the arcade. So, pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's I mean, watching old bands play is one thing, but seeing people that are actually passing away, that we are like, oh, this is I mean, we talked about Ben last episode, and
next week we'll probably talk about Ozzy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like that.
At least he lived a life, but
yeah,
he.
Yeah, you get to that weird point, like middle age, where it's just like it's like Bill Burr said, like why he named his comedy special "The Drop Dead Years," because he's like between the ages like 40 and 60 as a man, it's just like you could go, like your buddy gone, like you just like there's no reason for it, right? And like it's so true.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer, but it's cool though that like in a sense like that this guy's got like a legacy in videos, and he'll continue to entertain people for years, and his kids can go back and reference that. So
yeah,
maybe
I mean it's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe someday somebody will go back and watch one of my videos, but I doubt it. Not that I'm like wishing for death or anything. Like I'm just saying, it's a nice legacy to leave behind for people, right? And fans.
No, that's the Christmas. We're gonna watch Great Grandpa's videos on Christmas. His YouTube videos.
They're not going to understand any of that at this point. What's a PS5? Who's a Mario Odyssey? I don't know. Smash Brothers, what? Yeah. Yeah, cool channel though. Can't recommend it enough. But I suppose we're on to the weekend rental.
Mm.
The weekend rental for the uninitiated. We play a game for a given system. The Super Nintendo was the system this go around, and we played the game Jelly Boy. Andy and I will sink some time into it, and then we'll decide whether we would personally buy, rent, or burn that game. Um, from what I understand, did not come to the U.S. Right? Like this was a European and or
Yeah.
Japan
Like,
exclusive.
yeah. I'm not even sure if it came to Japan, but it's definitely European.
Yeah, and it's produced by Ocean, which just think Ocean back in that era and platformer, and you can have a pretty good idea what you're going to expect here.
Yeah. It's very possible the publisher in the US was like, no thanks. It's possible.
Yeah.
They should have just made him a sour, like a Sour Patch Kid.
I mean, he basically
That's
is,
what,
right?
yeah, that's what this game should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're kind of just a gummy bear looking dude who it's a platformer, but there are power-ups that change you into different things.
It's
A
like a
la
boy and
kind
his
of Kirby.
blob if you're the blob
Yeah,
and the boy combined. That's kind of what it
that's a
is.
good description. Yeah.
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 It has the European platformer like Amiga sort of vibe, Commodore 60, like very weird sprawling levels with a bunch of like crazy colors and enemies that don't really make any sense within the context of the game.
Yeah.
But somehow it's still and the controls being like functional but slippery. But at the same time, like it's still very engaging, right? Like it reminded me a little bit of like it almost felt like to me a combination of like Commander Keen and McKids for the NES.
Yeah.
Like the
Yep.
floatiness, but then like the weird level design of Commander Keen.
And the obnoxious amount of collectibles. Too.
Yes.
Yeah, just all over the place. Yeah.
Unexplained collectible. I mean, and they even do a good job of like trying to explain to you what some of them are, but it doesn't really help.
I think kind of that might be the biggest part that I don't like about this game is that all of that stuff, everything that's set there is just seems like it's there for a specific reason instead of
Yes.
Here's the power up because this is a power up you're going to need for the next 30 seconds instead of oh, I get to choose to be this power up and do something cool and carry it around the rest of the level, everything like that.
Yeah. Well, and
kind of the same thing for the fruit.
the
It's just
power
like,
ups
oh,
are on a literal timer, like you said. Like it's not
Yeah.
just like it's 30 seconds. It's like literally counting down how long you have that thing.
Right. It's almost pointless then at that point where it's just like, oh, well, you put some blocks here, so I have to get this hammer thing and bring it down there. It's almost like just you found a key, so you have to bring it to the door type of thing.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Instead of a cool power up.
Yeah. And it's it's not inherently bad. It feels like for maybe as much as I don't like most of the level design, it feels like they were very intentional in ensuring that you don't get stuck as a player. I mean, there's dips in how that works, but for the most part, they seemed very cognizant of like wanting to make it not super frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
A couple levels I could argue with that, but it's cool to see them just kind of like really just kind of throw everything at it. And like the idea is good, right? Like Jelly Boy, like a character with no association backstory, and we can just like literally mold him into whatever we want. It's like it's a great plot for a platformer. It just never feels like, I don't know. It never feels like super satisfying. It's always like I'm moving in a direction because there's always a clock. I kind of have control, but it's super slippery. This game is guilty of a fair amount of cheap deaths where you're not going to know the path or you're not going to know what's death until you lose a life, which is never good. Um, it might have introduced Poochie way before Yoshi
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah,
I forget what the little pink guy's name is. That serves
yeah,
zero purpose whatsoever.
yeah. At least Poochie you can get on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Is there a purpose? I was trying to figure that out too.
He never did
I mean,
anything for me.
they give you a box saying, "Oh, this is this guy, this little puppy, pink puppy, or whatever," and
Yeah.
oh,
The box you could
no.
at least kick at people, but
It does the Sonic thing where you collect kind of musical notes and that becomes your life.
right.
But it doesn't feel. I don't have the same panic, I guess, that I do with Sonic, where you're like, oh, I have to get
Right.
one ring. I have to get something.
Well, and you can't ever get more than like 10 of them, right? Because like the only way you can get them is by collecting music notes, by punching people. But there's
Mhm.
so few
Oh,
enemies per screen.
Ryan, can you explain the main attack of this game?
Oh yeah,
The animation of this game.
the neighbor child that you ate that's in your belly still digesting just decides to like throw a punch out the middle of your gut, and that's your attack. It's
Oh,
so
it's
weird.
it's that scene from The Blob where the guy's trying to come out.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean you have a fully animated character with arms, but his attack is a arm from the belly that punches everybody for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. Dangerously close to his groin area, I would say.
Yeah, they lifted it up just enough.
Just enough, but the fact that he throws his arms back and just
Yes.
kind of thrusts his fist forward is
Yeah, and it is.
suggestive,
I
to say the
hadn't thought
least.
about that until just now, but boy, that is questionable. Yep, it's a good point. And then his other main attack is just like lay on the floor like a blob, which you barely use. But yeah,
Do the glasses do anything? After you stand up, he wears like Groucho Marx like glass, like trying to
Mhm.
hide my identity type glasses, but I don't think it does anything, does it?
Not that I could tell. I mean, there's the heart that you can get that gives you glasses and a flesh cap, but that's just like a bonus hit.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing this game is very guilty of, which you see in a lot of like European style platformers, is like a ton of like bouncy floor mechanics where it's very precision timing on the jump, but it's very loose in the control. Plus, the camera moves a lot, so it becomes needlessly frustrating. And it's a mechanic that they like lean heavily into throughout the game, which stops being fun after a while.
Yeah, a lot of like going right, bouncing on something up to something else to go left. That
Mm,
type of verticality, and it's very slow too. I mean, it doesn't seem like you're going fast or really moving that fast, but yeah,
yeah.
it's not satisfying in that regard. But
Yeah, my other major complaint was like we talked about, you get the power ups, which you could do a number of things, right? Like you could become a light bulb, you could become like a plank dog thing, you could become a cannon,
or
you
just an
could
umbrella for a second because you're
umbrella,
falling.
right? But they all have a timer associated with them, and there's no way to cancel it outside of getting hit by an enemy. And this game has a, in some levels, very strict timer.
Mhm.
And like I found myself in a couple levels where like I was literally within seconds of racing down my power up so that I could beat the level against the clock. I mean, I'm talking like less than 10 seconds. And like that's extremely bad game design where you don't have like an abort button on a
Yeah,
power up.
yeah. The usually the time thing is not. You don't usually run into that problem in platformers. They
Right.
just do that to be like, well, just don't lollygag around.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was the same way. It was like getting pretty close on a few of them.
Yeah. It seemed like a couple levels, it was like the central focus was like collect fruit or die, like have
Yep,
fun.
yep,
It's like,
yeah. Because I think the lemons or something are the ones
yeah.
that give you more time or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, great animation, cool. I mean, I like any platformer that's got like an overworld map. Although I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get off the Lego world because after I beat all the levels, didn't know where to go. I assume it wanted me to go back and find
'Cause
like a puzzle piece in every level, but I did
yeah,
not
because
do
that's how
that.
you get a yeah, I didn't do that either. When I first got the puzzle piece on one of them, it said, yeah, you have to collect them all to get the boss or something.
Yeah. A little
So I'm guessing that's
convoluted.
what it was, but
Yeah. The other convoluted piece is like getting to the end of a level and like knowing that you have to press up, or like finding inanimate doors that just look like background and you have to press up to enter.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's bad
Yeah,
game
they're a little
design.
weird. Yeah,
The music was what? Serviceable? Like it felt like,
it's about that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a,
it
it's
felt
what
like a
you would expect
DOS
for that.
game soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The colors, especially, was just
Yes.
like, yeah, this is it's that a lot of colors. You
Yeah.
threw them all at me.
Yeah. And it's all like a pretty, like, I gotta say, at the end of the day, it's all a pretty good package, enough to where like
Mm-hmm.
I was enjoying it enough to wanting to keep playing, but then like when they just made it too hard to like progress through, right? Like that's where like you're asking too much of what you've built for me as a player, I felt like.
Yeah, it definitely has some pacing issues too. Where some
Yeah.
levels you're like, oh yeah, I'm at the end already, because it's kind of a speed one, but some of them are just a drag to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, what do you think you
But
give it on the Byron Burn scale?
I've talked kind of bad about it this whole time, but I don't think I can quite give it a burn. Um, Mainly because of its pedigree and what I probably expected this game to be. I thought it was going to be terrible, but it surpassed my expectations a little bit. It's a decent enough platformer.
Yeah.
I just wish the power-ups were more of a central part of the game instead of just gatekeeping stuff more
Yeah.
than anything else. But because that's like you're a jelly boy that can turn into things. That's the satisfying part. You want to be the power-ups. That's, it'd be like Kirby sucking up something and you get that power for 30 seconds. It's like, well,
Right.
I don't know. I'll go Rent.
Yeah.
It's on the lower side of Rent, but for an ocean game, it might be up there pretty high.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you say that, like I agree. I would go the same. I don't it, there was a point up until I ran into the brick wall at the end where I would have considered this possibly a buy. And for some people it might be there, but I think Rent is about perfect. Like it does a lot of cool things. There's nothing to hate about it. It's just like this is a good basis for something that needs a little more polish that would have been excellent. But, there's also dozens of these sorts of things on the SNES, so it's hard to recommend it any higher than that.
It is shocking that it's not sponsored or something. It's not like a cool spot or a McDonald's
Right.
game or something like that. Because it is in that vein, very much feels like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely does. It reminded me a lot of like almost Tom and Jerry also on the Super Nintendo.
Mm.
Like just kind of that sort of like they had a property and threw it into stuff that like made no sense. But here they didn't have a property, but still threw it into stuff that made no sense. So yeah. Yeah. Worth checking out.
Yeah, it's one of those that I had never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that's the reason why I never heard of it, because it never came out over here, I suppose. But it's also not one that you hear about, like, oh, these are the unreleased
Right.
ones that can't imagine this showed up on a GameSack episode of Left
If
in
this was
Europe or
so
something.
loved and such a classic, it would have been reproduced in like limited run, like
Yep,
shoved in our faces by now, right?
yep. With a jar of Smuckers attached to it, limited edition. Yeah.
Because you ordered the jar of Smuckers, it will arrive 18 months later than anticipated. Enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, still cool. I mean, I love platformers of that era, so it was cool to dust off one that you've never seen.
Yeah, and it's not overly complicated either. There's some that are just like the add mechanics that are just like this. You kind of ruined it by making it too complicated and added stuff that
Yeah.
didn't need to be in it. But
Yeah, I agree. Balances very well, even with all the power ups and gimmicks.
yeah, but The guy whoever said let's give him arms, but don't let him punch with the arms. There's got to be a fist that comes out of his midsection. That guy needs. I want to see his game career. What he did after this.
He made that ad for the uh, AES where it's like the guy's like throbbing dong on the screen with the wife in the lingerie. Same guy.
Yep, that guy.
Yep. Yeah.
He's making millions on Steam now. I'll tell you that. The eShop.
Well, I suppose, huh? Another one in the books.
It is. Guys, you can reach us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter and Blue Sky. And check out the Patreon early access. We'll have our movie podcast. You're not going to want to miss this because it's a very underground movie that we've been talking about doing here.
Oh, God. Are we going to commit to that?
I think we already did.
Oh, boy.
It's K-pop Demon Hunters. Completely our demographic. So.
I don't know about this one. It's taken over my household and I've refused to watch it. I don't know. And I was reading the Metacritic and it was like 98 and like 95% audience and critic. So
yep.
Maybe we're missing something here.
It's got to be. Yeah. But that'll be it, guys. So until next time, be kind, rewind.